any people who've already got Office 365 and use that portal, you can see how you've got all these different Office products and solutions, and Dynamics 365 is sitting alongside them. So that means that all the different tools are a bit more unified. We can get more details out into Excel and integrate back in very easily and start using some of the different tools which we'll look at later with Daniel, which is Power BI for the reporting. So this solution here is first of all, when you log in, you get into this dashboard, and it's a role-defined system. So I've got a role at the moment for when I've logged in for this user, which gives me a breadth of different access across the solution. So like Tori was mentioning, we're not going to go into exact detail in all the different areas, but as you can see, we've got quite a lot of functionality, whether it's fixed assets or going into sales, whether it's sales orders and invoicing and managing inventory or non-inventory items, all the way through to the whole purchase order processing that can be done with this solution. Scrolling through here, we've got quick access because of this user needing to quickly get to chart of accounts, bank and card information for your customers and suppliers. On the right-hand side, quick action buttons to create documents, or whether it be new records for customers and suppliers, and some of the reports that are out of the box as well, which we'll have a look at. We start going through to the central sort of area of the dashboard. We've got some KPIs, and we've got some of these tiles here as well. So the KPIs themselves, they've got all time giving live data representation what's currently in the system, and we can actually drill down, on this case being overdue purchase invoices, we can see all the details underneath and drill all the way through to the specific invoices to actually see more details. The tiles are very much the same. We can drill down and see that list of information and invoices, or whether it be purchase orders, etc. And this is more ongoing documents which are sort of current in the system rather than historic. Another area which I really like on this section with the tiles in regards to user tasks. So here a lot of our users are setting tasks to various different users of the solution. Maybe it's month end or different routines, and from here you're very easily able to assign different people and also link it to an item and an area, so they can go drill down exactly where they need to do and complete that task. Scrolling through, we can attach dashboards with Power BI. Again, Daniel will have a look at that in more detail later. We've got a favorite account section. So here we've got a list of, especially on the cash side, and we can drill down and see those entries as well, all the way through to a mini trial balance and a reporting box, and we'll have a look at those reports later on. So an area of real importance for charities is the chart of accounts. So opening that up, you'll be able to start to see how that's built up. And in this case, we've got a demonstration company called Save the Dodo. It's a demonstration charity, and we've built a chart of accounts built from a set nominal. It's 4 codes, but it can go all the way to 20. Part of that sort of build and structure when we're working with our customers would be to set what's the right amount for them and work in hand to make sure this is all set up to basically define the end reporting. So we've got a set of income accounts, goes through to expenses, all the way through to depreciation, fixed assets, current assets and liabilities. But like I said, this would all be designed specific to your needs. Now, what's really important, especially for charities, is to be able to tag or enter the information above and beyond that nominal code when you're entering transactions. In this case, we've got dimensions, which is really important. So we've got 2 major ones that we've set up, being fund type. So in this example, we've just got 2 different types, but we can have multiple, and this is restricted and unrestricted. The second major one is department, and here we've got a range of the sort of standard departments you'd see. And then we've got these extra ones, cost center, event, project. You could have multiple different ones here with various different codes, of which could be flexible to your needs. And what we find with other solutions, what people are using, they sometimes have to build their nominal and their full code structure, which would include this sort of information, and it can quite an unflexible tool to sort of increase their account structure. With Business Central, there's no sort of limits, so we can quickly create new accounts. We can do a search to see if there's already some sort of accounts that we're looking for. In this case, I've done a quick search and we've just got one code for travel here. We might want to create a new one, and it's very easy to build and create new accounts. So having a look at this card information for a new account, the way we've structured this, we've given ourselves enough room to actually add new accounts in. And in this case, we'll create a new chart account code for train travel. Here we've got quite a numerous different settings we've got enabled here, and including adding different categories, and these are all going to build out and help with the different reporting that's out of the box. So including different type of account types, so you can have different ones being just posting, or you can just have a heading accounts which are non-posting, which help to build out that chart of accounts. Through here as well, we at any point drill down to the underlying transactions, so we can view what's going on here all the way through to viewing those actual entries into the chart accounts, drilling all the way through to the original transaction and seeing the detail of those lines if needs be. Report-wise, we can do various different reports for these different accounts. So we can have a quick trial balance, and any of the reports out of the system we can send to Word, Excel, PDF, and we can also schedule them to be viewed by other users, so it will come into their Business Central inbox. So in this case, I will just click to preview, and this will open up, in this case, PDF, and we can view it before going ahead and printing or distributing further. Another area of use by some of our users is the filter section. So we can filter our list, so we could just have a set amount of the chart of accounts here. But the other area, what people like doing is checking just quickly, whether it be on the fund, for example, and by entering that, it's going to be changing those figures we can see on the right-hand side as of when we enter those different filters. From here, we very easily can actually open that information in Excel to get into reports, or even edit that information as well. So clicking open, with all those filters we've applied, that's going to create this Excel report for us. Just give that a second to build. You can see we've got all that information, what was on the screen in detail in Excel, of which then we could use for further reporting if needs be.
Just a quick question that came through there, Steve, is does it only work with Office 365 Online?
I think people have got hybrid models as well, so yeah. I think you need to have some element of the online, but you don't actually have to have Office 365 at all. But clearly, as we're starting to see with that integration with the Office tools, that generally it's the way that people are going with Office 365, so yeah, that's generally advised.
Thank you.
All right. Just going to have a look at the journal side. So we've got various different journals we can create, different templates. I'll have a look at the standard one, but just want to quickly show also we can create recurring journals as well, and they've got various different recurring methods and recurring frequencies that you can set up as well. So into the default batch, very easy to populate with the header information, and it's quite a personalized system. So in this screen, I've actually added, you can see on the right-hand side, these dimension codes which are important to this charity when entering transactions. So we've got the fund and department code already into this line when we're actually doing the transactions. As a solution, very easy to do some searches. So we can do part searches and it will find any of those codes that we want. So very easy to actually use the system just using the keyboard or mouse and click, entering information, drop downs to see the actual codes we can select. In this case, let's put it to here. And as well, like I was saying about the Excel side, we can actually copy these lines, go into Excel, and we can create new lines in Excel. So that could be multiple different ones. So I'll do a similar sort of line as we've got here. Change the description. And enter the same information we've got here. We could have enter multiple lines. I'm just going to create one this time, copy, and select the next line and paste in. So very simple system to use, whether it's integrating, editing in Excel, copy and paste in Excel, you've got all those capabilities. So there's also a different view. So I prefer this view when using journals, quite simplistic, but showing more columns, you can see how there's a breadth of various different capabilities, whether it's including the different posting groups that this solution uses to help define where things should be posted to and help categorize things, all the way through to actually having a balance account on the different lines when you're doing a journal. So next stage, I want to have a look at the budgets quickly. So within the solution, we can enter multiple different budgets. You can see across the top here of these ones, we've got the global 2 major dimensions being selected, whether being departments and the fund type, and then you can have the various different budgets included. So we've got one budget for a set department. In this case, we're going to have a look at the one we've got for funds. And we can see here on the top, we've got various different options of how we can view this. So we've got on our screen at the moment our different columns being the period and view by month, but we can change that to quarter, and it's going to change the figures across here. Various different options there, but we can also change it to the different, whether it be fund types, departments, if that's applicable, and it would show if we had entries across the different parts of the different departments for those dimensions as well. I'm going to keep us at period. All the way through to different filters at the bottom, whether it be adding extra date filters, different fund, event, project, etc. When it comes to entering new budgets, so very easy to copy this, create a different fund for help with the comparisons. We can export this once we've just created the base information of what we want to include into our budget into Excel, pass that across to the different budget holders who might not have access to the solution. They can import their figures into the Excel sheet, send it back to the finance user, and they can easily import it back in. So the next area I want to have a look at is the chart of account, general ledger account categories. So when creating the different accounts, there was a different area there of entering different categories. And this is just a different area to see how you can categorize the chart of accounts, totaling up different areas to create a different type of report. And that's going to help build some of the out-of-the-box ones. In regards to a report builder, it's called account schedules within the solution. I just wanted to show you a quick example here of a summary SOFA report that actually Daniel helped build. And this one here, you can see we've got all the different rows that we want entering into this report, how they are totaled, how they're displayed, whether they're bold, whether they're going to be shown or not. And also we've got the ability to choose the different column layouts that will go along with that. So when it builds out, so in this case, we've got a department one, but we've also got a column for fund type. So on the column wise, we're going to get restricted, unrestricted, and a total amount. When I go and print this, I've got an example at the bottom of my dashboard in my inbox for reports that have been scheduled to me. You can just see how this one being PDF how that will come out of the system. So as a simple solution, we've got a summary SOFA report. What can be in Excel, could be in Word format, or can be in PDF. Just finish up on the topic section here. We've got various different reports. So we can get some reports already built in Excel. Example here being aged accounts. So aged account payable, and very easily get that out, see the different suppliers, you can see the different buckets of when we actually owe them. On the other set of reports, very easy to get out balance sheets. We can set different information of the last used options. We've got different options here of when the date filter we can use. We can add different department filters. Let's just preview this report to just see out of the box. We've got various different reports that we can build, some of the out of the box ones. These can be easily printed, distributed to end users.